On this one, we're going to talk about a very important consideration in a DWI case, and that's whether you as the client can be available to testify on your own behalf. And so it makes a difference of what we can or can't do with the case, and it depends on which defenses are available to us. And so this is a discussion that I sit down and have, and where I fall on it is if you can truthfully and honestly get up there and testify that you weren't drunk, or that you had 4 beers over the course of 5 hours or whatever it is, then great, let's do it. More often than not, the judge is going to want to hear from you, and it can only help the case if you can truthfully testify all that. Now, if you're up there and you're testifying, now the prosecutor gets to cross-examine you, and you're going to be up there under oath with the judge looking at you, hitting you with some hard questions about what you were doing and how much you had to drink. And so I know other lawyers have no problem with clients getting up there and lying. I don't think that works at all. And so what I throw it out there is just, hey, if you can truthfully say that and you're not going to have to lie to a cross question, then great, let's use you. If we're not going to be able to do that, then just tell me you're not going to be available, and that's perfectly fine. I would say only about 1 in 4, maybe 1 in 3 of my DWI clients ever actually testify, and I could win the case just fine without you. And the main part of it is we're going to have to prove that the cops did something wrong is generally going to be our main defense. So if you're not available, that's fine, no problem. If we've still got a defense, we can run with it without you testifying. But if you can truthfully do it, it's only going to help us, because then you can get up there and say, I had 2 beers 3 hours before the stop, and here's what I was doing, and it just helps. Now, with something like the rising BAC defense, you're going to have to testify on that. There's just no getting around that. But that's a conversation that we'll have after looking at all the evidence and everything, and we can make that decision and what's going to be best for you. That's something that we like to discuss at the outset is, are you going to be available, and can you testify? And in some situations we do have witnesses that can be there for us. If you happen to be leaving your local bar and the bartender knew you, and then the bartender can say, yeah, he was sitting there for 2 hours and I only served him 1 drink, then that can help us tremendously. It doesn't happen a whole lot, but again, we're going to look for any and every way we can beat this charge. And if we can have you testify, or if we got some other witness that was with you in the time leading up to the stop, then that's great, and we'll use that.